justice for all. Thank you very much. As you know, we are being recorded. It might go on Facebook and YouTube. If anybody is recording, please let us know like we just did. And if you want to talk, please ask the board. You come to the podium, you say your name, who do you represent, or if you are a resident, and we can go from there. Let's look at the agenda. So do we have any A&Rs?
Unless any of these fine people brought one with them, no.
Okay.
Okay.
Which, I mean, it could happen.
Next, we have Housing Production Plan Grant Discussion, Emily Globitz, Central Massachusetts Regional Planning Commission and CMRPC. Welcome.
Hello, yeah, Emily Globitz, CMRPC. So I was at a previous meeting about a month ago talking about introducing the Housing Production Plan project that I'm going to be helping facilitate with the town over the course of the next year or so. I introduced kind of background on funding and the timeline and everything. So I'm hoping we can just get into the draft survey. We are hoping to launch that kind of as soon as possible for that to be available to members of the community to take this fall. I had passed out draft copies at the previous meeting I was at, but I have other ones as well. I can just give them to you now if you don't have the copies from before.
Well, I was gonna say, I think I front loaded that.
Amazing. Okay, cool. So did anyone get a chance to kind of look over the survey and have any comments or like questions on it? Anything?
What are you aiming at? What is the seed that you're trying to look for?
Do you mean like the number of responses or kind
No.
of just like the overall goal?
What
of the-
triggers the project? You know,
Yeah.
what is, oh, this is awesome, or,
Yeah, I mean, it would be great to get feedback on affordability, if people are struggling to live here, kind of what the day-to-day or month-by-month, like payments are like for folks, as well as like the structures of housing that are needed as well. So if the town needs to kind of focus on more, multifamily development, senior housing development, what people need and where they're at in different life stages.
what path option do we have from this? What
Yeah.
are the common path options?
Yeah, so once the town completes the plan, it'll be approved for 5 years. It has to get approved by the state. So I'm gonna like help guide through that process. It's really helpful for applying for state grants. The state loves to see that the town has this kind of plan active. So if you're looking for any, future grants, things like that, this will be really helpful. It'll help in terms of Chapter 40B, just kind of managing if there's any developments that are proposed where the developer is seeking a comprehensive permit. This will help kind of manage that as well.
So could you, sorry,
That's all right.
lower it down a little bit more and translate it so we can all understand why are we doing this and what is it
Sure,
for?
yeah, no, sorry. I had talked about that at the previous meeting,
Yeah, I
so I
understand. I
thought
just
we
wanna-
were, I didn't bring my slides with me. I would have brought more. But yeah, so the town received a grant from the state to complete a housing production plan. So this is gonna be about a 70-page document with like data and analysis of like where the town is at in terms of its housing stock, its population, kind of different trends over recent years, projections. It'll do an assessment of kind of the challenges, the barriers to creating new housing, whether that's kind of regulatory side, if there's any like zoning or policy changes that the town can make, if there's certain areas that are more appropriate than others, whether that's in terms of, environmental reasons like soils, or just areas where there's more kind kind of services, businesses, things like that, bike lanes, bus routes perhaps, things like that.
So basically, you're
Yeah.
gonna do like an X-ray of Warren and how is it today for housing, for people to come and live here? And this becomes a tool to ask for a grant?
It
Or-
becomes a tool. It's kind of a multifaceted tool, I would say. So it's both a document for the planning board, zoning, town officials to kind of refer to when you're coming and making decisions about housing. If it's you looking at the plan and seeing, okay, does this reflect what the community has said that we need? And then it also can be a tool for just like getting grants and everything. So, yeah, it's. I've worked on a handful of them, probably up to like 9 or 10 now in the region. So I'm happy to also send like examples of other communities that have had housing production plans in place. And this is also a good, you just finished your master plan. So this is kind of a good follow-up to that. If there were any kind of themes that came out of that process that you really want to kind of dig down and discuss in more depth about if it relates to kind of land use, housing, zoning.
So my last silly question. If we don't do this, do we lose?
I wouldn't say so. No, this isn't like one of those things that the states come out and been like, oh, there's a punishment for if you don't do this. But it is very good to be kind of proactive and have a plan in place for housing, for future development, focusing in on certain areas where land should be developed for housing and land should be preserved, and just to get a sense, a check-in of where the community's at in terms of what they need and making sure people can continue to live here as they grow old or raise families, or need options to downsize if they have raised families here. So
it's really a guide to help
yeah.
us plan for the future.
yeah.
Now, do you have any sort of response rate you're targeting or what you really look for? And
I
if
would
you
say
are, how is this going to be distributed?
that was kind of also what I wanted to talk about tonight as well. I have some ideas where outreach methods that I know the master plan has done before, and like CDBG, things like that. But if you have recommendations for how we can reach people, if there's any kind of
But,
networks,
of
things
the
like that.
other 9 or 10 you've done,
Yeah.
are there any where the response has been better than others? And if there is, how did you do that? Is that something you could replicate
That's a
here?
good question. Yeah, I would say in communities where we've mailed out a postcard, but is there mail delivery here? No, that's what I heard.
yeah.
Well, yeah, if you
You
go
get
through
mail.
another town, yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah,
would need a
some
little
people get
guidance
it
on
through
how to
West-
do that.
West Brookfield, others get it through
Okay.
the post office box downtown.
Okay,
But everybody gets mail.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. It's just they have to check their,
If
go to
it's,
the
like,
post
time-stamped
office.
and they don't get it quick enough or something.
Yeah.
Some people don't check their boxes that often.
Yeah, but you'd have to know which ones go through West Brookfield.
Okay.
Yeah.
And,
Well,
Yeah,
we
I can
have-
definitely pursue that if the board think
We have
that's a
couple
good way to reach people.
electronic tools that really cover a lot. Town Alert is one, our website is another one.
Mm-hmm.
Social media pages is
Yeah,
another one.
Facebook.
Yeah.
And they do cover quickly a lot of the population.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a couple of pages, and there's a page and there's a private group, they handle a lot, cover. And
Flyers,
Town
post
Alert,
office.
at least 4,000 people receive that minus Rich,
Yeah.
because he's not working for him today. but
3,999.
$3.99, which is a very good tools that we can use to distribute this so we can get answers.
I would definitely do an online version of it.
Yes,
You
this
got
will
the
definitely
printed,
be.
the printed's fine, you
Yeah.
could leave that in spots, but definitely you want
And,
somewhere you can send somebody on the computer or the
Yes,
phone.
yeah.
and also think about this format.
Yep,
like-
it'll be,
like a
yeah, we'll
screen
have the
or-
mobile version,
or,
for
you know,
sure.
Yeah,
like a-
mobile version.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
convert.
And like, we'll have a flyer also with like QR code, so people can just scan it if they see it, like posted, like at the post office or town hall or something. They can just scan the QR
Yeah,
code.
with the link and the
take it.
QR code, it's more than
Yeah.
enough to distribute it.
Yeah,
Or like a minimum percentage required to be able to put the plan together.
Not required, no. I mean, I would aim for a minimum like 200 responses, I would say. I'm not sure what the total population of the town is, but,
Active residents in social media, about 100.
okay.
So
And
if
we've-
we go over 100, I think we'll be very successful.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done surveys like this for other things in the past, and 200's probably a high number.
Okay,
I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
I think we've gotten 120
okay.
in the past, or that sticks in my head, 100. But, you know, it probably depends on interest and accessibility when people see it and stuff, so.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, that sounds great. Yeah, any other questions on outreach or the survey itself? It's a pretty standard survey that I've used for other communities. But if there's anything in there that like you specifically wanna kind of hone in on, I was thinking perhaps, yeah, like I said, if there's anything that came up in the master plan process that we want to like discuss, or I know the town is also going to be working on a zoning rewrite. So if there's anything more like policy or zoning related that you kind of want some general feedback from the public, just to kind of get a feel for what will get approved or not approved if you try to pass something. You could also put in a question around that.
One thing I was gonna mention, question 15 about the CPA.
Yeah.
It might be good to actually, you've got room on the page, is to maybe do more explanation about that.
Oh, sure.
Since it impacts people's taxes, it might help for them to understand like what that's about. I mean, you do mention it, but maybe some examples or something of how people have used it.
Yeah, why should,
Or how they could use it in this town, maybe, that would be.
how would it benefit the people, the taxpayers?
Yeah.
That's the question they're gonna ask.
So you could like mention the old town hall. I mean, these funds could be used to preserve the old town hall or.
Give some concrete examples.
Yeah.
Would be very helpful.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I think this has come up before in town meetings, annual town meetings, and it hasn't passed. So people, as soon as they know they're gonna get
Yeah.
a tax hit.
It's tough, yeah.
So,
Also,
It'd be
I'm gonna, my next comment is going against that. Nothing bad or wrong, it's just technical. The order of your questions, are they in a specific order of importance or a degree of, you
Not
know,
really.
why first and why last?
The only thing that I put last was the demographic information.
I'm gonna give you a
Because
hint.
that was less,
When I do this kind of things, I put the little stuff at the beginning, or the most important ones, and try to make them the smallest possible, because someone's gonna start, and as soon as they start seeing so much text, oh my goodness, that's too much, now click it. But at least you got the first 3 or 4 questions at the beginning, the ones
Yeah.
that drive,
Yeah.
that they drive
not
the
bad.
book.
okay.
So,
the first page or two, right?
yeah, because if you look this on the phone, it's a lot.
Yeah.
The
Oh, yeah.
questions and answers
20
is too big. And people, when they see that, you know, if they see, you know, like, are you happy? Yes, no, maybe. That's easier for them to answer.
Right,
But when you
yeah.
see a lot, it's hard to keep the attention of the user, stick to this. If we have the first ones, the most important ones at the beginning in short, you at least can take the first 3 or 5 questions, answer it. And if the person really gets interest, then they wouldn't mind filling up or reading the other ones that are longer. But keep that in mind, because
Yeah, that's
people
okay.
really just, whoop, next, and keep going.
Yeah.
My
So-
suggestion is actually to move the demographics right up front.
Okay, yeah,
Because
we can
people
start with
can
that.
very easily answer those questions, is, you know, check, 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 and then they could go on to the most important. You got them on a roll, basically.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, like number 5 is pretty long. There's like
It is.
12, 13, 14 choices, so.
Yeah, 5 on a phone will be like,
Yeah.
it will be really long.
Yeah, so some of these seem more like, are you able to afford your home? I mean, that should probably come before that if we're talking about importance, you know? Because that's a critical question. I also like 10 and 11 too.
Yeah,
way you
those are
do
good.
that.
Or even if number 5, for example, it says, if you were to consider moving out of Warren, the question is, which of the following factors will drive your decision to move? What if you ask, would you consider moving out of Warren? Yes or no? At least you got something. And then why? And they'll put, I don't like it because it's too expensive, because taxes are going up. Then you get answers instead of having them read through each one and pick one or two.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
filling these out doesn't give you the yes or no that you might be looking for.
Yeah,
Right.
so,
It
but
just-
if you, on number 5, you just ask, would you consider moving out of Warren? Yes, no. Okay, you got the first answer. Then the second one is, why? They might feel it.
Yeah.
They may say, taxes too expensive, I don't like the planning board, you know,
But instead of making someone write something, take 4 or 5 of these, and then
And
they
put-
can go, no, boom, 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 or yes, boom, 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 and they're done.
yeah, something you can see on the screen. If you can see the whole thing on the screen instead
Yeah,
of,
Yeah.
right, scrolling. Yeah.
just, you know, it will change, you know, because at least for me, if I start and I look at a long one, I give up.
I know, yep.
And you don't want any questions here which someone's gonna chew over too, like wanting access to public transportation. Then they could start with, we have the Quabog connector, it's, I take that one right out.
Which number is that?
Needing access to public
On 5?
transportation. Yeah.
Wait on 5.
Yeah.
I think the number 15, where you go into the Community Preservation Act, I think a lot of people just say, I don't want to do that. I'm not going any further, I'm done.
Yeah.
So save that one for the end.
Yes.
Got it.
You know, a lot of the population is, I hate to use the word elderly, because I think that means
Well,
me.
that's basically all of Massachusetts is like that. It's, a lot of older people live in this state.
Low to moderate income.
And,
Yeah.
and they
That's why
can't
we get
leave.
grants.
Yeah.
So maybe some of these should focus on that demographic, maybe, because they're the ones who are gonna be making the changes. I mean, you moving out, oh yeah, probably an old person. Can they afford it? No.
And also, if you do these changes, when you plot everything, it's much easier, you know, oh, most of the people want to move out. Okay, instead of trying to figure out why or are they moving out, but you get, for me, it will be much easier to plot and have statistics out of the questions if you just, would you consider moving out? Because then you have, look, out of 100, 99 said they want to move out.
Yeah.
One said, oh, because I don't like the planning board, and, you know, and that's fine, but you got my point.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's-
exactly.
That's why I asked at the beginning, what do you want from this? What is the goal that you want to have? And trust me, I do a lot of this stuff online, and people like me are very lazy, and if I'm not interested in it, and there's too much reading, it just
Yeah.
moves on. So think about the best 5 questions and short questions at the beginning, you know, and then if somebody's really interested, because at least you get, you know, the first questions answered that you want.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Sorry.
No, that's very helpful. So let me know, yeah, if you want me to make some changes to the survey and then come back to another meeting.
I mean, you can leave it like that. What I'm telling you is probably you're gonna get less responses or harder to plot, harder to get the answer you want at the end. You know, each question, there's a graph. So think about how you're gonna fill that graph. Because then you can come and look, a lot of people wanna move out of Warren. You know? So,
Yeah. Yeah, what's great about like the online platform that we use too is we can also kind of select based on like demographics. We could say, okay, of the population 55 and plus that checked off that box, how did they respond to the other questions too?
Yeah.
So I'll be curious to understand kind of of age demographics, income demographics, and be able to kind of compare. Yeah, so we'll do plenty of outreach kind of at the senior center, libraries, online, you said, Facebook. I don't know I don't think I'll be able to post on Facebook myself, so if I can work with
The
someone.
door is here.
Okay,
Yeah, just send,
okay.
send whatever to Derek.
Yeah,
if you
I'll
have a-
create like
Just send
a
it to
post
her.
and everything, but.
Yeah,
And
if there's
then
anything for
she
the
works the
website or
magic.
Facebook, just send it my way and I will get it where
Yeah.
it needs to go.
Okay.
It will be on the town's website, it will go into Facebook page, it will go into town alert, so that's a lot.
Yes, yep.
Yeah, that'll cover thousands of people.
Town alert right now reaches out. If I send a notification right now to town alert, 4,000 people will get it, not him.
No.
He just got a new phone, that's why.
Okay.
But, that instantly. So
That's
it's-
great.
So it's really good tool.
Yes.
It will go by ping,
And there it is.
Okay, perfect.
so it is, and everybody's on Facebook too, so it's.
Great, that's awesome. Okay, cool, very exciting.
You know,
Um,
the libraries could probably put it on their website too. You have more and more people come to the libraries.
Yeah.
So 2 libraries, right?
2 libraries,
Yeah.
yes.
Libraries, yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
You could, I don't know if you could do a little thing, put it in Mason's, which is the breakfast place downtown. If you had.
I could check in with them, yeah, and
box,
see.
You know,
Put it right next to the menu, so there.
Yeah,
Oh, and they start filling it
Yeah.
up.
Why don't you, while
on the
you're
table.
waiting for your
Exactly.
breakfast, why don't you fill this
Here's
out?
a-
Yeah.
Here's a pencil.
We'll give you $1 off your,
Free muffin.
we'll give you
Yeah.
a muffin,
Yeah,
right?
here we go.
I love
Free
that.
muffin.
Okay, I'll reach out to them and see if they'd be willing to host something.
No need to, but,
Yeah.
we just,
Yeah.
Yeah, just community places.
Well, incentive.
Do we get to see all the responses too, or are they just aggregated into like a report?
Yes, I will have all the responses, yeah, and then I'll provide you all with a nice formatted version with all the graphs and everything and summaries. There's a lot of spaces for open-ended responses too, so those can be interesting to kind of parse through. It's all gonna be anonymous, but I'll have those listed as well.
should you ask at the beginning if they're a resident of Warren?
I think we do.
I think it says
It
there,
says,
on one of the last questions.
You
it
live
says
in Warren.
you live in
Does it?
Warren,
Okay,
yeah.
because I'm
you
I
thinking,
currently live in Warren.
okay, good, all right, because I was thinking if people go to Mason's from all over, so.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and one of the options is no, but I'm interested in moving to Warren, so we might get some people
okay.
that.
Yeah, on the private group page, one of the questions to get in is how many lights are in Warren?
Oh, stoplights.
Yeah,
Yeah.
before I moved here, I tried to join it and I got it wrong. It let me in.
I don't know it.
So only if you really live
Okay.
here will answer. will
I'm gonna
know
drive
that.
around after this.
It's only one.
Okay.
So,
What was your guess?
Well, actually,
I
anybody
don't
who's over
remember the
then
options
that
there. I think
way.
I said
You
like
could live
3.
over here and
Yeah.
never go that way.
but there are more questions, but what I'm saying is, it will make a
Resubmit
difference.
my application.
Yeah.
Because there's a
Yeah.
lot
My
of
form.
people who just wanna sell stuff and, I'll make this look bad for you.
Yeah. Yep. Perfect. Yeah. Any other questions for me while I'm
It'll be
here?
interesting to see the responses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it sometimes uncover things that you didn't expect?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Or it confirms things that we just didn't have the data for. So
Ah.
things you hear, but to actually have it on paper and be able to present something kind of formal and say this many people said this.
Okay.
Yeah. So I can come to the next meeting, I guess? Do you meet every 2 weeks?
The next meeting is scheduled for Monday, September 14th. And so if that sounds agreeable to everyone,
Yeah, I won't be here, but it's all right. I know.
We know.
Yeah.
I know. It's all right.
What do we do? We're doing,
so September
Cemetery Road?
14th, Cemetery Road is just like a brief update for sort of where they're
Okay.
at with Concom and everything else.
yeah.
The Babes Lawn Care
Oh, that's,
opening,
yeah, yeah,
is gonna be
Yeah.
that night.
okay.
But those are sort of the only anticipated things at this point, sort of on the schedule definitively.
Okay.
Well, we're looking for a lot of details on those, so don't count on a brief one.
Oh, no, but it's not, it's not a 2-page agenda, 3 weeks out or whatever yet.
So when would you be ready to go with this? I mean,
What's the
is there
timeline?
a start date or
Like
soon
October
as
or
possible?
something, or?
It really as soon as possible. I think we're ready. I just need to pull together, I think, like a flyer that would be used to promote it, both online and like print versions. So I could just wait for the next one, come on the 14th, and then you could officially approve it. And then we could go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
That works, sure.
cool. That sounds good. That's all. Okay.
fine.
That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Emily.
Next, we have a public hearing continuance from July 20th, 2026 on a special permit application number 318 of Jack Fowler III, 661 Main Street. Should I read everything in there?
I don't think you have to. We already opened the hearing, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
so,
You guys, is that you?
Jack Fowler, the owner of 661 Main Street, Warren, Mass.
So if I may, just before things get rolling, I sent out an email to everyone, but it was late this afternoon. So in case you didn't see that, which I didn't necessarily anticipate you would have, Jim Ferreira, the town administrator, spoke with me this afternoon. He asked me to convey to the board sort of his recommendation for this evening is to sort of go through a review of the zoning determination for 661 Main Street, and then the opinion from Jeff Blake of Town Council for 661 Main Street, and just sort of parse through those and see see if Mr. Fowler has any information that speaks to that, if you want any information beyond what's discussed here, sort of, some fact-finding or digesting of things. That was, so, Mr. Ferrer asked me to pass that recommendation on to you all, and now I will just continue taking my notes.
So can I,
Go ahead, please, because
Okay.
it's over my head right now.
And you are an abutter.
Yeah. See you later.
I'm not objective to it,
No.
but
yeah,
I know he can't.
all right.
You can make your comment from that side.
Yeah.
Yeah, you-
But I trust you.
Yeah, but it's appealed by somebody who doesn't like it or something.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Thank you, Laura.
Saved.
This is my obnoxious blue post-it note to remind me.
Good. Keep a hold of that.
So they're saying that this business is not allowed in this zone? What is,
The first letter says it's not allowed by zoning, but the second basically says that it essentially wouldn't like hold in court if there was an appeals process.
We
That was
could-
the gist that I
We
got
should
from it.
consider
Right.
the building inspector's letter, but not
Yeah.
necessarily go by it to make a determination or agree with it.
what did the
It's up-
inspector said?
He said that it's not allowed in this zone. Violate Town of Warren zoning bylaws, section 3.1, because, which says in all districts, no use shall be permitted which will produce a nuisance or hazard from the fire or explosion, toxic corrosive fumes, gas, smoke, odors, obnoxious dust or vapors, harmful radioactivity, offensive noise or vibration, flashes, objectionable effluent, or electrical interference which may affect or impair the normal use and peaceful enjoyment of any premises in town. Wow, put a lot in there.
And the thing that I got out of the KP Law letter is that, we can still grant it, but we should consider these other things. And one of the things was fermentation odor, which you have addressed previously
Yes,
as
ma'am.
negligible. And CO2 released, which, no. And people would, not object to anything.
Correct.
How far are you from any other residence? From your building to someone's residence?
The closest neighbor was here at the previous
Yep.
meeting. He's got a bunch of stuff he's gotta do. He's got a dumpster he's gotta take care of, and
Yep.
people coming to do stuff at his property, so he's not able to be here tonight. But he's the closest one to me. He literally lives just at the bottom, basically, of the entrance to my driveway. And he said he doesn't have a problem with it and has known me for over 15 years.
But you've been doing small, very small personal batches, and now
Yes, ma'am, I have.
you would be increasing it, but you wouldn't expect any more
No,
odor or anything.
no. Because the biggest thing is if you type in on a search engine, and now everything uses AI, and it's going to instantly give you what it is believed to be the best possible answer. Now, in all actuality, if you are baking bread from scratch, you're using yeast. If you are making alcohol, you are using yeast. The smell you're going to get that you would smell would be for bread if you picked up the towel and shoved your face in it and smelled it. You would then therefore smell the fermentation. It's the same thing with the brewing process. So the only way you're going to get that is once it is opened and you stick your nose directly over it. Now, there is a smell of slight alcohol as it is being produced only in the room. I've been doing it now for 2 years, and all my guests have never known it. My fiance lives with me, her 2 kids live there, and they don't smell anything. I mean, I don't think she would want to live with me if the whole house smelled like alcohol constantly,
Right.
every single day. Don't really think she would approve of that. So,
I'm trying to Google your house. You can't really see it from the road,
correct, sir.
because when I go on a street view, it's not really, I mean, it looks like it's behind those trees.
Yes, sir, it is. The house, if you were to cut a sheer face, would probably be about 40 to 50 feet up in that hillside. And there's really no one around me. And the next house on the same side is an apartment complex. I know one of the neighbors that are there. I've never met the owner. She is elderly. I met the 2 neighbors that are directly across the street. I didn't go up the road and meet him, but I talked with the other neighbors. One's Jack, he's fine with, he's former infantry, United States Army, during Vietnam time. He was fine with it too. Talked to the other neighbor, Dan, he said he didn't care as long as I weren't throwing massive parties at 11 o'clock at night. And I told him that was not a thing because I'd prefer to be in bed by 11, to be honest.
Did we cover, I don't remember if we asked, but like signage, do you plan, like what kind of advertising for your property for this?
Advertising would basically be all social media. I spent a good amount of money trying to learn digital marketing and things like that. Am I trying to gather, thousands of people to come at once? No, this is just something that I can start where I can eventually show a bank that I've become profitable and looking to gain a business loan rather than, trying to make millions of dollars at my house, because that is not feasible and I don't want it. I don't want it for the town either, especially where I am.
So you'd want to grow into like a bigger space at some point, not
Yes.
grow in your home? And
No.
scale up, continue to scale up in your home?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, no, there's a set benchmark. Typical businesses have to have an A+ rating with banks to get business loans. I have a business advisor through the VA, essentially through the VRNE program, that's gonna help me build my business credit if this is approved. So that way we can get that credit, which isn't really a money factor, it's just a business factor. Then I can approach certain banks once I can show that there's a profitability within 6 to 18 months.
Okay. How many people do you anticipate being there at one time?
At one time,
I mean, it's
probably
gonna,
no more than like 10, if I'm lucky, to
Okay.
be honest. At first, I'm pretty sure it'd be my oldest and maybe 2 or 3 of his friends.
Yeah.
Her family might stop by, but
Okay.
they're in middle of New Hampshire, some are in
Okay.
Rhode Island.
but if someone from the community wanted to stop by,
Then it would have to be within business hours. As I spoke previously in the meeting, I figure Thursday, Friday, 6 to 9, and then a Saturday, maybe like a 1 to 9 or a 10 o'clock,
Okay.
depending if the town would allow me to stay open till 10. And then that would be it, really, essentially,
okay? What about parking? If you have 10 people show up, where are they gonna park?
right on my property.
But I mean, you have again, I'm thinking people from the community show up. Do you have any sort of designated parking area? It's just gonna be? you
I
know,
would, yeah.
You-
The plan is to get it all set up by the spring, if this is all approved, to have it all set. I've been clearing a little bit of trees and some brush and making extra parking areas at the bottom of the driveway that's off the road, so obviously I wouldn't interfere with any of the motor vehicle traffic on
Just a
67.
heads up, if you're going into that direction, we may need plans. of
Okay.
your- You know, because then it becomes like any other commercial building where you have parking, handicap, access and everything.
Okay,
If it's more online, it's different,
yeah,
Right.
because you don't need that. But if you really go like, you know, like a mini,
Mini brewery type of thing, yeah.
just a mini
Distillery,
commercial
whatever.
building where, you know, people come in and you, and the code will dictate as big as your business is, how many parking spots you will need.
yeah. I'm not putting up a building at all.
But it's your house, it has a
Yes,
square
sir.
footage. So part of your house is gonna be the business.
Yeah, essentially, everything is going to be done outside, because I don't have the room inside. The only real permission is the interior to brew it. I was just gonna have people do samples, I was gonna put up a gazebo outside, just to have like an awning and some lights.
That will go on the site plan.
Okay, I
Because
mean,
you're
if
gonna have
that's
to, you're
needed,
gonna
I
have to,
have no
if
problem
that's your
doing it.
goal,
Yeah,
you're gonna have to show us, hey, this is my property line.
We need
this is
plans.
My house, here's the driveway, here are the parking spots, and they'll have to be by code.
okay,
You know, have code dimensions and, you know, proper radius, proper distances, and handicap, access and that. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's how if you see any of these new, general dollar buildings, you know, look, they put all the parking, you know, sidewalks and things. Basically, you're getting into that, even though it's
Okay.
in a smaller scale, that's what you're gonna have to
Right.
show
Okay.
us. Because the building inspector is gonna ask for that.
okay. So now if I chose to just do it solely online,
Then it gets easier because, you know, it's you going and put the packages on the post office and receiving, you know,
okay.
money comes.
Right.
Because I know that, I spoke of that in the previous meeting, that was definitely a major goal, to keep traffic away from my house. Because once a liquor license is issued through the state of Massachusetts, it's just a simple application again to the state to be able to ship it, because mead falls under the same category as wine.
Okay.
I mean, and you could go baby steps. You know, you can get your business running online.
Yeah.
You know, and if it starts to become something, you know, like people are gonna start going in there in and out, you're gonna have to come because
Okay.
it's probably not gonna be
Yeah.
allowed by code to have more than, you know,
Yeah, like
it's
5
not
to
like a
6
party,
cars.
like
Right,
a.
I mean, if you're gonna have a serious retail location,
Yeah,
Yeah.
then the ballgame changes. I mean,
yeah,
it's-
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you step it up a few notches.
I mean, I'm more than okay with
Like,
that.
okay, before we continue, what are our next steps? Because here it says, if we decide to deny it, I'll read it. He says, I further advise the board that if the board denies the request, in my opinion, the board should list all of the findings and its reasoning for the denial. And
So I believe so I believe town council was sort of saying, you know, the board gets to make the decision. If the decision, you know, from the board happens to be a denial of the special permit, just sort of do a very thorough denial outlining the
Right.
reasons.
That was
Right,
kind of
but-
what I got.
Yeah.
Right,
and
but
that's- the
but the building
denial is-
inspector's letter is not binding on us.
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the denial is,
And I'm gonna-
is just the decision.
I'm gonna speak for myself as a planning board member. I really don't like denying business in town. I don't know if you guys are the same thing.
Correct.
You know,
Yeah, don't
when
like
we
it.
had to do that, you know, we will have this room full of people that don't want you. And that's when we get in trouble because there's a lot of people who don't want the business.
Yeah,
And we want the business because it's good for the town, but, you know, we
Correct.
have to listen to the public.
Isn't that what the special hearing's about?
Yeah.
Right, yeah,
correct.
Yeah,
yeah.
we had business coming with proposals, and suddenly the room is full of people, and what's going on? And they don't like it. and they get scared and they go to another town. But I don't see this here.
No,
Yeah, just not ranks of people opposing you.
no. Very small startup, and you can grow,
Correct.
Yeah.
and
But if it's online, it's simple.
Yeah.
You don't have any of the retail requirements.
although I would guess that you might have occasionally somebody who wants to stop in and taste
And
it.
sample it, yes, correct.
Yeah. And you're not talking about many people.
No.
But even like, like the other, when they do at that place, the R&B place on South Beach Road, when they have once a year, they meet, they
Yes.
have a lot of people
Oh,
coming
Laurel
in.
Ridge, yeah.
And,
Laurel
and,
Ridge.
they come and ask permission to do that.
Yep.
And they get a police officer to, the traffic or something, depending on how many people are gonna be. You could do that also as well,
Because the biggest
If you
thing
have
that
a
I've
big
looked at,
event.
and I spoke about it earlier, is if I'm granted permission to produce it and make it at the house, one of the biggest things I was after was like the medieval festivals that come. Like King Richard's Fair allows people like me and other companies to go in with beer or wine, and they do actually sell mead. And that was my plan for next year, was to try and get into that. Or
Okay.
some of the local farmers markets, and then apply for their special permit for that specific day and time or that weekend, and do it that way. That way I don't have to have a lot of people. There's so many ways around me having a bunch of people or having to go after commercial style permitting through
Right.
the planning board and the building
So
inspector,
bring your product to them.
pretty much.
And nobody knows, maybe you're very successful and then you really need a bigger place.
Yeah, that's the
But-
goal.
And that
Probably wouldn't be
probably
your
won't
house.
happen there.
You
It'll
know?
be some, in another place, but hopefully it's in the town.
Are there other meaderies around? I mean.
No, that's the best part. So the two nearest meaderies are all out by Boston. One is in Ipswich and one is in northern Peabody. And then you have one in New Hampshire. There's nothing in the central part of the state or the western half of the state. There's one in central Connecticut. So essentially, I could corner the entire
So
market.
nothing west of 128.
No.
Sounds like you got a market.
Yeah, a big market.
And everybody I know and everybody I've talked to, especially explaining the whole Viking thing, they love it. I mean, I've already picked out labels, as long as everything is approved. Yeah, and
Okay.
So what's the process now?
I am just refreshing my memory on this case.
Because either if you're gonna deny it, we still have to go through the process of,
Absolutely, and to my understanding, the town council is sort of saying, it's the board's call, like any
Right.
standard special permit.
Right.
You go through the process, have the hearings, all the abutter notices, appeals of the, decision, appeals period, all that stuff. It's just, basically some extra things to consider on top of that regular process.
and today can we open to the public for questions?
It's the public hearing, so,
Yeah, I mean, it's a continuance of the hearing.
yeah, so this is still
You
public
okay with that?
hearing process, so.
Yes.
We open to the public? Is there anybody in the public who wants to say something about it? Like I said, we had here
Butter.
this room full of people against the projects. And I don't hear anything.
No, and you can't say anything, so it doesn't
I'm not
matter.
gonna say anything.
No, it doesn't matter. You can't,
Get myself in trouble. We're getting you in trouble.
Oh, I don't want to get in trouble.
no.
Well, like I said, planning board, it's all up for new businesses in town. Unless there's something that really town people don't want to, we'll, see it. Maybe next time the room is full of people, we don't know. But for now,
For now,
Yeah.
sounds like a good opportunity to give someone a chance in town. And it's not gonna affect much of anything for us, big effect on you.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Hopefully. Hopefully, yeah.
And if he gets bigger, we can move along to something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes, sir?
Actually, I will make a comment as a citizen. I support, it sounds like a good idea. I support having business in town. I guess since the building commissioner denied it, it might be good just to talk to him and say, what would he be okay with? Or how could you work with him to make him feel better about approving this? Maybe that's the best
Should the
way.
planning board talk to him, or should we have him in a meeting?
So, do you mind if I say something on that?
Sure, go ahead.
So the original denial letter stated specifically the odor and CO2. And I brought up in the last meeting that there will be CO monitoring systems put in place and a 900 CFM fan for circulation of air put in place. But I wasn't going to put them in place unless the planning board says yes, because it's gonna cost me $1,000 to put this system in. But I didn't wanna spend the $1,000 on the system if I was gonna get told no.
Yeah, the building inspector.
So
what
those
he-
were his major
what-
concerns.
What he is gonna, raise a flag is safety.
Correct.
So if for safety, you're gonna need to do X, Y, and Z, and that's how he's gonna approve it, because he is gonna see the construction of the process, he will come and do a site visit to make sure that it is what it is. If you don't have it, he's gonna say no.
Yeah.
And he can stop the project.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's what I figured was gonna happen, was
So-
this would be based, if you did approve, on contingency that the fan was put in place.
So in preparedness for that, you're gonna have to come with at least a set of little sketches or plans, this is where all this equipment is gonna go, and, so at some point, he's gonna give the okay on that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Before I open or before the.
As soon as the better, if you had come today, hey, I have all this, and the building inspector said I need this, so I'm contemplating have it
I
here, have it here.
have pictures of everything on my phone that I submitted to the TTB for my original application and for the state. So I have all of that.
We will need a plan.
Yeah,
And
some-
say, I'm gonna have a
some-
table here, a chair here, a
Okay,
fan over
so
here.
What kind of plan? Do you need, like, just a sketch or a professional, like, engineer's plan?
So heads up, the building inspector is gonna ask for a sign and stamp by a professional. He's gonna ask you for that anyway. So you could start early in the process.
Oh, Jesus.
But
that's
he's gonna
cost me
ask you for
$5,000.
that, because he's gonna sign up, the planning board will talk to him anyway. But any project where he has, you have to go and have all this X, Y, and Z safety issues, there needs to be a plan.
Okay,
You're gonna have a fire alarm plan, you're gonna have a emergency exit plan, if it had sprinkles, you're
yeah,
gonna have a sprinkle plan. So think about that, because with the planning board, you can come with a sketch, not, even if it's somebody without a stamp and a signature, at least gives you the idea that you have something solid, and this is what I wanna do. But there's a big possibility that the building inspector is gonna ask for sign plans.
outstanding.
So it's,
Just a heads up, because,
I've looked into those already, that's $5,000. Now, the thing is I'm going through a grant program through the VA.
yeah,
So, me ripping out $5,000 right now, in all honesty, and I don't mind saying it in front of the board, that's absolutely impossible for me.
so
I'm a disabled vet.
do what's
so
possible
doing
for
something
you.
like that is almost impossible.
Do
Now,
what's
if it's
possible for
something
you
that
to
is
get it in.
required, and I hate saying it this way, if it's done as a contingency upon your approval, and then his approval last, I can then take your approval, send that with my application to the VRE, and put it in the budget request.
okay. What we would probably do on a decision, we'd have a set of conditions.
Yeah.
That have to be met.
Okay?
So, I mean,
'Cause
that's
I mean,
the
if I could
decision.
do something like that after, like you said, in the contingencies, then at least I can put it in, because the VRE will supplement a certain amount or up to a certain amount for the startup costs. So if I can roll it in, I might be able to use that as a quote-unquote startup cost, where it's not gonna cost me $5,000 to have an engineer come down and draw a plan,
Yeah,
because site plans are ruthlessly expensive.
Yep.
yeah,
So, you could come with a small sketch with the planning board,
Okay,
but because of the detail of the safety that the building inspector is gonna look into this project, may ask for that,
okay.
so. And I want you to succeed. It's not like, oh, if you don't come with those sign-up plans, we don't approve anything.
Okay.
And then you can't do it. That's unfair for you. So work as much as you can. And if you bring over here and a napkin, this is what I'm trying to do to get the approval, and we put the conditions, upon that, and then you can do what you just said,
Okay.
and do it, get it done that way. It's just that building inspector may ask for that.
Yeah.
It's not us, it's gonna be on him.
Whatever he asks for, I mean, I'll work
Once
with
you,
him
but
and see what I
then, by
can,
then,
absolutely.
you already have your project. It's not like you're asking permission to get a project. What I'm trying to say is, you go through the process, you get your application, we approved it with these conditions,
Okay,
and now you have a project. Now it's approved. It's not like I'm gonna spend $5,000 on a site plan and then they're gonna say, no, we already
okay,
approved it. We say, yes, but you're gonna have to comply with this, and that.
Okay.
Just to get it, and then that, you can, roll it that way.
okay.
Right, and I mean, some of the conditions we would put in would address his concerns.
Yeah, because, I mean, he made a valid point. I honestly never thought it would be as much as it would for CO being released.
And it probably will not have to be a complete site plan, because you're not gonna make a parking for everyone.
Right.
But, this is the room when I'm putting the stuff, that's where the fan is, this is where this is, that little area.
Okay,
Whatever to comply with the building inspector, because his job is to sign up, and he said, yes, this place is safe.
okay,
That's his job. He's not gonna sign if it's not safe.
yeah,
So you may need whoever's gonna sell you the, this fans and all this equipment, they can give you, hey, this is the place, how do I put it? They should give you plans for that, and
Yeah.
you put it together easily, instead of hiring somebody to do a complete site plan.
yeah, okay,
Have somebody, well, this is the room or the rooms, this is the entrance, there's a window, where are you gonna put the fans? And have them develop for you, instead of, for the whole site plan. Now, if the building inspector comes up with it, we need a site plan, and then it's a different story, but
yeah,
right now, I'm thinking about what he said, and what the public is saying, and what you wanna do, and your process, and the willing of the planning board to have more help business grow up in Warren. I think that's the plan.
okay,
We want you to succeed. Planning board is not here to, put obstacles into the people, no, we don't want, no, we want you to succeed. But there's some things, like, the building inspector it's not in our hands. He's
Yeah.
gonna ask for X, Y, and Z.
I knew there would be something that would be needed for him if you said yes, and,
But not a complete site plan, because you're not doing parking, you're not doing handicap, you're not doing this, it's more online, at least at
yeah,
the beginning.
yes,
Yeah, right.
Once you're gonna put the gazebo and all that,
yeah,
things, you go through a permit process, but it's different. You already have your business running.
yeah, okay.
Right.
So, are we good?
Can we grant him a special permit now with the requirements that he give us this other information? That it complies with the CO2 and the fermentation.
Yeah, all the
and
stuff
rest
that
of
Bill
that
has in the letter,
right,
yeah.
that they mentioned in there, and then he can go to, you can go to your VA
Yep.
people, and they will help give you the money to do the rest.
Correct.
Can we do that?
Yeah, but not today. We'll need to talk to the building inspector, making sure that, what can he do to make sure what he is, raising a flag, he can comply with it.
Right.
Maybe in the next meeting, we're gonna have this room full of people, they don't want it, then it's another story. But once that is, and he brings some, well, I got this manufacturer with this set of plans, this is going here, this is going there, nothing's stamped by an engineer or an architect yet. And we look at it, and then we have the same public,
Right, we make a
and
decision.
then we can make a decision, and you can go from there.
Yeah,
I just don't wanna overstep on the building commissioners and he's gonna say, hey, planning board, what you're doing is not possible. he's gonna come and say, well, if he really wants to do that, he has to do this, and that. And that's your set of instructions to go forward with the plan. But we will put it on the conditions. So you get your project, you're approved, and you have all your rules to go for.
Okay,
Because then it's only him.
Should address the things that he's concerned about.
correct.
So then you can go and say, here's the plan, here's all the things I have to do to make this work.
Yeah, because those were his two major concerns, was that, and that was it.
Well, that's the, we have to work with.
Yep.
Try to work on the next meeting we have.
Yep.
Try to
So
get,
I wouldn't think it would take too long to talk about that at the next meeting,
No.
if he has all that information.
and, yeah, and there are no more, no
Right. No
more
residents
issues,
here
yeah.
complaining about it.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
Once that, we can take a decision, we put the conditions, and you will be all set.
Okay.
Good. So, yeah, get us some sketch, something.
Because the section where KP Law is saying is, the board should, if the board denies the request, we have to list a lot of things.
Correct.
Why are we denying? Right now, looks like the board hasn't found anyone, unless we have 100 people here like saying, no, we
Yeah.
don't want it. But we're giving you the heads up, if the building inspector is requiring this, you may have to start working on that and try to bring us as much as you can, and then we will talk with the building commissioner. And if the next meeting it's okay, you bring everything, we are aware of what you have to do, we put it on the conditions, and the process keeps going, and you get your project approved, and now you're dealing with the building inspector. If you don't do whatever he says, it's up to you.
Yeah, then,
Because he has
Yeah, I mean,
he's gonna sign off, not us. The planning board only approves the use of the land.
Yeah.
How are you gonna use your land?
Right,
You're gonna put a McDonald's there, we'll talk about it, say yes or no.
right.
That's it.
So, we want you to be able to do this and succeed. That's what it comes down to.
okay.
But it just has to be done,
Yep.
in certain ways.
You're not against the planning board. You are to comply with whatever it takes to do your project.
Yeah.
The planning board encourages small business to come into town. Because we need
We
business.
want
in
more.
town.
I agree,
So, okay,
I agree.
all right,
All good?
yeah.
A motion to continue?
Yes, so just for everyone's planning, excuse me. The next scheduled meeting is Monday, September 14th. That's the standard second Monday. The fourth Monday of September is the 28th. And then we're looking at October. And so the 14th, yes, the 14th is already scheduled, already has a couple things on the agenda, including a couple special permit discussions, but obviously board's discretion, just giving you a bunch of info.
I don't mind having them on the agenda.
I don't mind either,
We-
just because Guy's been going for a while.
Yeah.
Get it done, because I'm not sure that any of the things that were going to be on the agenda on the 14th are gonna be terribly time consuming.
Even if it's terrible and time consuming, we're here to serve the town of the people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good.
I
Right,
mean,
yeah.
we spend hours with other bigger
Yeah.
array projects,
Exactly.
and they don't benefit the town, this benefits our town.
Right,
Excellent.
and you're right, it's been going on, so let's just
So I can use this.
square it up. Yeah, there we go.
Yes.
Just aim away from your laptop.
Yeah, I'll sit over here.
Maybe I should.
Yeah, and also just for the board's planning for next steps, typically, so the hearing will be continued. Typically, so presuming this is going to be continued to the 14th, and I only say presuming because a motion hasn't been made, but presuming it's continued to September 14th, sort of the standard operating of the board is, if everything is sort of good, settled, ready to move forward on the 14th, then the public hearing will be closed, and then everybody sort of marinates behind the scenes, drafts up some conditions to bring to discuss, and then typically the next meeting after that public hearing closure is a motion to approve or deny, and then if it's an approval, finalizing of the conditions of a special permit.
Yeah.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's, takes time, but you have time to do the other little things that we had talked about tonight.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so just for everyone's pre-planning.
We like things to move as fast as possible too, but
Okay?
A lot of hurry up and wait in the service. It's kind of
Yeah.
a thing.
yeah.
And I always tell people too, I'm like, if I have town business to do, I've got the same timelines as everyone else
Right.
too, so.
Right. Okay. I'll make a motion that we continue this hearing to September 14th.
Second,
All in favor?
Drew King, aye.
Ed Longigan, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye,
Karen Wood, aye.
so we will continue.
Understood. See you on the 14th.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next, we have meeting minutes for review on approval.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from July 20th, 2026, and August 12th, 2026.
Second.
All in favor?
Drew King, aye.
Ed Longigan, aye.
Derek
Reject.
Bel-
Oh, Richi Hacker, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye,
Karen Wood, aye.
motion approved.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we pay the planning board administrative assistant $795.08, $692.12, and $749.32.
You have a second?
Second,
All approved?
Drew King, aye.
Ed Longigan, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye,
Richi Hacker, aye.
Karen Wood, aye.
motion approved. New business.
So I'd like to mention something. We're gonna start a hearing next time for Babes, and Ed isn't gonna be here.
Right.
So, the town approved a part of Massachusetts law a bunch of years ago. And what that says is Ed can miss one meeting in that hearing, and he can still vote, as long as he goes through the minutes, goes through the recordings,
Okay.
and stays up to date. So
I can
just
do
so
that.
everybody knows,
Okay.
you can miss, because it's
Okay.
critical on this one, we need 4 votes to pass
No, I know.
a special
Yeah.
permit. So if we lose one member, and then somebody votes no, it's done.
Right.
So that's the problem.
Okay. Fine, we can do that. That's
Yeah.
not a problem.
Any more new business? Old business.
I do have a quick piece of old business, if anybody else has anything, before I jump to it.
Go ahead.
This is just sort of a closing the loop on the floodplain zoning bylaw update. As we know, it passed at annual town meeting. I believe it is still working its way through the Attorney General's office for state approval, but I heard back, I provided everything to Nadia Madden from Department of Conservation and Recreation, who was assisting us with this. And she said that what was passed at town meeting is fully National Flood Insurance Plan compliant and has been submitted to the FEMA database.
Okay.
So on that end of the floodplain bylaw, good to go. Not necessarily anticipating any pushback from the Attorney General. Typically, if there is pushback, it's like, I want this to say were instead of was, things like that, so. But I will let you know when the AG signs off on everything, but that chunk of it at least is done and dusted.
Good. Okay. And the only other thing that comes to mind is the bylaw revision. We've not heard from
Yeah, no.
Gabe,
I don't know.
what's his face.
Yeah.
I'll follow up with him. Okay.
We're good with old business?
Mm-hmm.
Comments and concerns? Next meeting is September 14th at 7 PM, same location. Have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Drinking aye.
Ed Longigan, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
Richi Hacker, aye.
Karen, would I?
We are adjourned.